Lovely sight, eh? A nice big bird landing here in Thailand. But we are not here to see planes land. We are here for Royal Enfield's brand new motorcycle called the Hunter 350. You are watching Auto Today. Do remember to subscribe, share and like the video. And do tell us what you think about this motorcycle after you've seen the review. My name is Rahul Ghosh. Stay tuned to the Hunter 350. The first thing which grabs your attention of the Hunter 350 is the rather compact dimension of the motorcycle. It looks small and it is really small, especially when you think about Royal Enfields, which are like a big mass motorcycle with chrome and metal all around. The Hunter 350 is nothing like that. And front you see these 17-inch alloy wheels and tubeless tires. Then you have a plastic mudguard. And you have this nice round halogen headlamp which gels well with the overall design. So a nice chunky front end, 41mm front forks, they also look really nice. And then as you move up, here comes the instrument panel, which looks a bit odd because it's a bit offset. Now we'll get to the instrument panel in a bit, but before we do that, let me tell you that this is a 13-liter fuel tank. So considering Royal Enfield is claiming about 32 point something kmpl, you will get a decent range out of it. Then you move on to the seat. Now the seat is nice, big, comfortable. But the most important thing is the figures say that the seat height is 800mm. Now that's quite high, right? But if I swing a leg over and show you, it's not very high, because someone of my height, 5'5", 5'6", I'm really comfortable, and you can see that I can put my foot down very clearly on the motorcycle. So overall it looks really nice, and the compactness of the bike continues at the back. Like now when you come at the rear end of the bike, there are no chrome mudguards or nothing here. Again, a nice little small fender, and you've got these nice grab handles which are nice and sync. It flows with the overall design, looks really nice. Kudos to the tail light. I mean, this panel out here looks really nice, and overall the visibility and everything around the rear section looks very proportionate. So overall, as far as the looks are concerned, the Hunter is a roadster to the T. Now let's show you the instrument panel on the Hunter 350. Now you can see twin pods out here, but whether you buy the Metro or the Retro variant, you get a single pod cluster which comes from the Meteor. Now it gets a nice big speedometer, it gets a fuel gauge, it gets trip, it gets clock, it gets a gear indicator. And what we sorely missed was the tachometer, because in spite of this being the 350cc J series engine, it has a lot of fun element in it, and you can exploit it more if you had a tachometer on it. Now the tripper navigation system which you see on the side of the thing makes it look nice and proportionate, and it gives that nice appeal to the bike, a twin pod layout, but that comes as an optional extra. You can also have a windscreen from the GMA platform, and that adds to the look of the bike. Moving on to the switchgear, again the same switchgear you've seen in the Meteor and the new modern Royal Enfields. It's a nice flick switch and it's easy to use. We've now come to terms with this particular switchgear and it looks nice. These are the standard mirrors which you get on the motorcycle, but again if you look at the GMA catalog, you get bar end mirrors. But looking at the overall aura of the motorcycle, I think these mirrors suit it better. Now, as the name suggests, the Hunter 350 uses the same J platform 350cc engine as we have seen in the Classic and the Meteor. While power and torque figures remain the same at 20.2 bhp and 27 Nm of torque, the engine, fueling and all the other tuning has been changed to suit the Hunter's portfolio. Now when it comes to the exhaust, it's also a nice new unit and it sounds nice and rotty. Actually, why don't I start up the bike and allow you the privilege of hearing the Hunter 350. Sounds really nice, and let me tell you that once you get going and you are hitting the rev limiter, it sounds even better. Now, moving on to the chassis part of it. Now, this section of the chassis remains the same, and everything beyond has changed for the Hunter 350. Now, this is what gives the Hunter 350 the agility which we have experienced in the past few days. The chassis of the Hunter 350 is where all the magic has happened. The tighter rake and the shortened wheelbase ensures that the bike maintains a tight feel on the road. The twin rear shock also adds to the taut feel. Unlike other Royal Enfields, the Hunter 350 feels compact, more like it wrapped itself around the rider. Then there is the 350cc engine, which continues to offer good bottom end chug, and this allows for effortless cruising on city streets. There is enough torque as usual to pull through without having the need to downshift through the slick gearbox. On the downside, the clutch does feel a little heavy. As night falls, Bangkok transforms into a proper party destination and the Hunter 350 plays ball. The Hunter 350 goes through traffic like a hot knife goes through butter. It feels nimble and agile, and to further add to the experience, we landed up at a go-kart track. And boy did the Hunter impress. It carved through the tight corners with ease, tipping through and scraping pegs. This is something we've never experienced on a Royal Enfield before. Absolutely brilliant. Braking too is something to write home about. Good bite, and most importantly, the Hunter holds its ground even when one stamps on it. We've been riding the new Hunter through the day, through the night on a go-kart track across the city of Bangkok, and now is the time to sum it up. Well, do not come expecting for a Royal Enfield here, because what the chassis does is put the heritage factor to the wind, while the engine is still clinging on to the heritage factor. It's extremely agile, nimble, easy to thrash around in the city, compact, and all these words are not synonymous to Royal Enfield. But what the surprising element is how the engine keeps up with this package. It loves to be revved. It revs to the rev limiter, bangs at 80, comes down, change gear, go up. It's an amazing package. But when you close your eyes and the bike is idling, you hear or are reminded of the classic 350. That's the only part of the bike which will remind you that this is a Royal Enfield. Overall, this is a fantastic package, and at the price it is being offered, I think it is phenomenal value for money, and no reason for you not to make this your next choice.